Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today's video is a favorite pie recipe. This is a apple pie recipe with the best filling, and this video is hosted by Tiffany from Small Town 6, as she is hosting a collab playlist for favorite pie recipes. So my favorite is apple pie, and I decided to show you all how to make an apple pie recipe with the best filling. So for this recipe, you are going to need 2 pie crusts that are already pre-made in the frozen section. You'll also need 6 to 7 Granny Smith apples. You'll also need 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. You'll need 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and you'll need 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, as well as 1/4 cup water, 1 cup granulated sugar, and 1 egg, as well as 1 tablespoon of water, which will be for the egg wash. So first things first, I decided to skip trying to make a pie crust, and I just bought one from the store, and it came in a 2-pack. And so what I wanted to do was go ahead and get everything started. So I am melting my butter in a medium saucepan over medium heat. I eventually need to add in the 3 tablespoons of flour and let that simmer for about a minute. And I just need to make sure that I'm whisking it completely and constantly. And once you start to whisk in your butter, make sure you're ready to whisk in your 1/4 cup of water, and make sure that you have your 1 cup of sugar ready, and then you're going to bring that to a boil. Once you add in all of the other things that you need, you are going to then reduce the heat and continue to simmer it for another like 3 minutes, and then you'll whisk frequently and then remove from the heat. Next, you want to go ahead and peel the apples and remove the cores, and get ready to thinly slice these apples. Next, I'm just going to cut the apples into thin slices, and I'm going to put them into a large bowl, which is behind the camera at this moment, because I need to get ready to sprinkle some cinnamon on top and then toss them to combine it all together. So this is what the apples should look like, and then now I'm just going to go ahead and get the pie crust together. So I'm taking the pie crust out, and you definitely need to let these thaw out fully for about 50 minutes before trying to complete this. So before even trying to make the apple pie, I would go ahead and pull these out and have them thawed and ready. The one thing that I can say about this one is I did not let it thaw out long enough, so it started kind of cracking. But finally, once I let it sit out for about 15 to 20 more minutes, it was just fine for me to eventually roll it out just like this. And then I'm going to put it into this pan here. I probably should have sprayed this part with the butter flavoring cooking spray, as I didn't want it to stick to the pan, but it did not, so I did not worry about that part. I just want to go ahead and like measure it down, pump it down, press it down to make sure there's no creases, there's no holes, and things like that. So I'm just going to try my best to keep it all intact. So I did just take like a fork and press on the outsides just like a regular pie would, just because I didn't want to do like the fingerprint into it and then it break off or it create holes and stuff like that. So now that I have the outside of this together, I now need to add in 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon to the top of my apples because they're getting ready to get tossed and combined together. And then after this part, I then need to get ready to pour that sauce over top of the apples, and then I'll stir them and coat them. And so right now I'm putting my oven on 425 as I am basically halfway through. I also would highly recommend that if you get to this point, I would do the slicing first, and then meanwhile you can quickly whisk together the butter and the flour and the 1/4 cup of water and the 1 cup of sugar, which will be so easy because you can easily bring it over from the stove and just pour it over top of this once you're done, like you're getting ready to see. Now that you all get to see the reason why I said to make it at the last minute is because of this. I had to use a spatula to scrape all of the filling that I just clearly put together on top of the stove before slicing all of the apples. This is the reason why it says put it to the side, but when you put it to the side and go to make the next do the next step, this is what ends up happening. But I was able to toss the apples and get everything evenly coated. And so this is the part where you're going to put about 7 cups of thinly sliced apples into the pie crust. Make sure that you put it into the middle because you want to be careful of not getting the filling on the edges, which is going to make it very difficult to seal. I then unrolled the second crust onto an 11-inch round, and I cut it into like thin strips instead of thick, just because I did not want to cover my pie completely, and I want to do the woven pattern over top. And so after this, I just simply am going to show you all how many pieces it created. I'm also going to show you guys just the quick simple layout of trying to lace these all together for this pie. So by now my oven has already went off and it is almost ready, but in order to do the woven pattern, I had to go back and just recreate a couple different pieces. I had to move a couple different pieces, and I also had to fold in the crust, the ends of the crust, into the pie. This is definitely my first time making my own homemade apple pie, and I definitely would do it again because this was a delicious recipe that I am so glad to be sharing with you all. So as a reminder, this is a collab that was hosted by Tiffany at Small Town 6. Be sure to check out the playlist linked in my description box down below after you finish watching to see what my pie comes out to look like. Of course, after all of this moving pieces around and trying to get everything straight and ready, because I am just that eager to see what this is going to look like, what it's going to come out to look like, and what it's going to come out to taste like. This is what I have so far. Now I need to take the egg and then the 1 tablespoon of water, and that is going to be used for the egg wash. And so I'm going to beat those two together, and then I'll brush the top with the egg mixture. And so I have the tool brush where I can easily dip it in and just brush the top with the egg mixture. So here we go. Let's give it a try. So after brushing the top, you're going to stick this into the oven on 425 in the center of the oven for about 15 minutes. You're going to reduce the heat to 350 and continue to bake for another 45 minutes or until the apples are soft and filling is bubbling through the vents. Let it rest for 1 hour before serving. And ta-da! Here is my apple pie recipe with the best filling. It only takes 30 minutes to make. Cook time is a total of 1 hour, and it is a total time of 2 hours. So if I can do it, you can do it. Be sure to check out the playlist linked in my description box down below. And I hope that you guys give this video a huge thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to my channel.
Let's keep